Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now my question today is, what is the Morbidelli C1002V like to live with? So the first thing we like to do is of course stock up before we go on a mighty ride, and of course that's the good old full English breakfast at cafes like this, the Chapter 1 diner down in Newquay. But the thing of it is, here they have the helmet head breakfast, the 11 out of 10 perfect breakfast on the menu. The helmet head breakfast. Come down here, stock up and stare at your bike. Then after filling up our belly full of awesome food, the next thing that we all love to do is going out on a group ride. So here we go on the Morbidelli C1002V on the group ride. And that's what we do, don't we, as bikers? When you live with your bike, the best bit of it is when you hang out with your mates and go for a ride. And now I've tail-backed right at the back of everybody, what means it's going to give me some time in the future to blip past with this mighty steed. But instantly, this is the coolest bike in the pack. So riding the C1002V on an everyday use, like today, out with your mates riding, the one thing that's quite handy is this beautiful, big, massive metal tank with around a 250-mile range. Now, for luggage side of things, there isn't panniers and stuff currently available as far as I know. But because you've got this metal tank, you can get these beautiful magnetic tank bags. That means I can get most of my day-to-day stuff in. Now, if I didn't have all my cameras with me that have to go in a rucksack, just for your average group ride, hanging out with your friends at the weekend, a tank bag is literally all you need, not to have to carry things around. And again, this big tank means it just sticks to it absolutely fantastically. But you can keep an eye on things like your range by hitting the information button, and there you go, up on the display you've got your range, and you've got all the nice things that some bikes are lacking these days, like a fuel gauge. You've got a nice fuel gauge, you've got a rev counter, you've got a gear selector, and of course, you know, if your engine's boiling hot. Now, one thing this bike does when it gets warm, it's got some beautiful big fans that kick in that keep it nice and cool, so you can just cruise around. But it is nice being out here in the country riding this bike on those beautiful blasts. Now, my sort of seating position, what's really nice, is quite neutral, tucked down in the seat, because this has a very low seat height. And the thing of it is, the way my legs slightly stick up, because the boards are so big I can move them around. So to live with this bike for that group ride, it's super comfortable and enjoyable. But of course the V-twin engine and the power is there, but there's also a special mode you can press here that goes into sport mode. So when you get on these bigger twisters, you can hit the sport mode and pop it into sport, and suddenly it gets a lot more leery for a lot more fun. What means you can do the sneaky overtakes when you need to. Now, one of the things I love about living with this bike is that seat height of 680 millimeters, so you're always flat footing it. Now, this bike weighs 262 kilograms dry, but because it's all so low down, it doesn't feel too heavy, so you can easily move it back and forward with your feet as well. And with that tank range of 250 miles, you're not stopping every 100 miles to top up the tank either. So it's got a decent fuel economy. It's around about 25 quid to fill up the tank. That for this size engine and how much power you've got, just seriously ticks some boxes. Now, the one thing about this bike that you can't stop doing is staring at it, because it is just an Italian stallion. It's just a beast. Just look at this.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way.
Another thing about this bike that's really handy, if you've got some dual carriageways and you're not on a regular basis or motorways and you're having to cruise a few miles to work and back, what you've got is cruise control by flipping this switch here and then just pressing the plus button, and it gives you that bit of time for your throttle hand to relax and just chill. So for an everyday use, to live with it, it's just another little perk this bike comes loaded with.
So one of the big questions is, if you're going to live with this bike every day, what's it like for a Pillion? Well, let's find out.
So first initial thoughts of having a Pillion is that you don't really feel that they're on the back. They are a lot higher than you with that big hump, but they definitely, the way it's weighted, you don't feel like it's pulling down in any way. And obviously the suspension is fully adjustable, so you can set the load up to however you want. And having this 240 tyre on the back being so nice and wide, I think it really helps for that feeling of being more stable. But I generally can't notice having a Pillion on the back, but we'll find out what they think.
So the person that actually went on the back, let's find out what they think to the Morbidelli.
Well, the seat was actually surprisingly comfortable. I didn't slide around backwards and forwards on it, which is really nice. Foot pegs are nice and wide. The exhaust sounds really nice when you're actually on the bike. And I was high up enough that I could see over and feel the wind in my face, which is nice as well.
So you're happy?
Yeah.
You're comfortable?
It was comfortable.
Would you go on, say, a 300-mile trip?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah?
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
There you go.
I'd want a few stops, but yeah, 300 miles.
So 50 miles. Well, there we go. It's good for a Pillion as well. So the Morbidelli, to live with, just the simple joys straight away is things like that low seat height. Getting on and off the bike when you're riding around is just super easy. There's no having to climb on it. The position of the bike is this nice kind of mid controls, this neutral sort of feeling. It's super comfortable. Now what you've got is this beautiful 997cc engine. So there's so much power, it's ridiculous. You're not worried about keeping up with your mates or any of that sort of stuff. A couple of things to bear in mind with that big tyre and stuff on the back, and also the low exhaust, and it being a cruiser. You're not going to be racing sports bikes around the bend. You're going to be taking your time a little bit more. But that's part of the joy. Sitting on a bike like that and just cruising is the point of it, and that's what makes it exciting. Now there's so many plus points as well. The looks are absolutely stunning, and so many people are going to go to you, what's that? And on top of it, what you find when you're riding with your mates and they're all going, it's a nice bike you've got there. The further you ride, the longer you're with them, they keep coming back and going, it's growing on me more and more and more, and you go, it does. It looks like Batman's bike. It looks cool. It looks stylish. And that's the point. You feel absolutely awesome on it. Now, if you want to use it on the point of commuting to work and back, what I'll say is it quite simply put a rucksack on, laptop on, sort of in the back, and it'll rest on the hump. And you don't really get that pressure on your shoulders and things. So it could easily be used as a bit of a daily commuter on those nice days to the office. And having a Pillion on the back as well, it works really, really nicely. They are raised, so they'll be above you so they can see what's going on as well and also enjoy the ride. But the best thing about the Morbidelli, the best thing about this bike is that £9.5 grand price point. Cruise control, TFT screen, tyre monitors, everything you want on there. Big engine, comfortable. At that price, it's just a win-win situation, and you know you can live with it, and you can live with that price because that is cracking for a brand new bike right now. Now, if you're interested in picking one up, the place to go to is motogb.co.uk. Check out their website, get yourself one ordered. They'll even deliver it to your home. It is seriously next level, and I will see you in the next Helmet Head adventure. Take care, ride safe, and bye-bye for now.